Israel marks today the Holocaust Remembrance Day in memory of the 6 million Jews who were killed in Europe by the Nazis and their collaborators. And as always, the most interesting aspect of this day is hearing the memories, the testimonies of the survivors. And we're very happy to have with us in the studio Jeudith Moskovitz. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
First, we really appreciate the fact that you're here with us. And second, you came from Bukovina, which was part of the Austro-Hungarian kingdom.
Right.
What happened in the late 30s that made this place from the comfortable place it was for you and for everyone else into a Nazi-ruled place?
Listen, I can tell you as much, a little girl of 6 years old can tell you. Politics was not aware of for me, but I was 6 years old. It was winter time. We were walking in the snow below 30 degrees, 30 degrees. Can you imagine? And we have to walk all the way. And of course, I was frozen, so my father took me on his shoulder. Otherwise, I will be drowned in the snow. After a few kilometers, somebody told my father, listen, your little girl is frozen to death by now. Don't waste your power on somebody that is lost. Save your son. My brother was older than me. He was 10 years old. I heard and understood everything. I didn't know what God was, but I was praying to God to let my father know that I'm not dead, I'm alive. But because I was frozen, I couldn't move a finger, I couldn't move nothing. And I was so frightened that he will listen to that person and lay me on the snow. Now, you don't have much time, you have to march, because soldiers with armament were around us. Whoever was back, they just shot him to death. And he fell on the snow. So we continue this way. And I was thanking to God that He saved me, and we have reached a little village, a Ukrainian village. It was nighttime, and they had pity on me. They took me in. It was something really a God present. They took me in, they massaged my body with alcohol till I could wake up and move a little bit. And I can tell you they gave me something warm to eat and drink, and they saved my life this way.
And you were moved from various ghettos, from one ghetto to another. Basically, each time, the story you told us now of one march is
that
not...
That was the way to the first ghetto, which was in Mogilev.
And then they moved you again and again.
Yes, but the reason why I cannot tell you, which 6-year-old could tell you something like that? It's something impossible. Till now, I was asking myself, but I have nobody to ask to get that information from.
What do you understand at the age of 6 when you go all through these experiences?
Listen, first of all, you fear of everything. You're hungry, you are cold, you live in the darkness, you pray to have a little bread. You didn't have so much imagination. The only thing I was praying for 4 years was a little bread with butter. That was the most I could imagine. I didn't think it could be other food that is delicious like that. It took me 4 years to have the taste in my mouth.
How did you survive all these years in 3 different ghettos until finally the Soviets came in and this misery ended?
When the Soviet came in, it was a finish of everything. But till then, how we survived, it's very hard for me to tell, because I think some people just were running away from the ghetto. They were working for everybody who had some profession. Like my father, he was a shoemaker. So in the night, in cover with the darkness, used to run away and work for some people in the village so they could give him some potatoes. And that was our survival.
And we understand you have some images of your childhood. When you mention a 6-year-old little girl, show us what.
Yeah.
Oh,
Listen. That's how I look like at the 6 years old. It was like a very short time before we had to go to the gate.
This is the girl that was walking in the snow, the story
right.
which you just told us.
Yes. And here I have a picture, me with my brother.
This is the 10-year-old brother.
Yes.
Again, before that march you told us about.
Yes, but very short before that. I found those pictures, you know, nobody could save any pictures. I found it at my uncle's place. I had 2 uncles in New York. They were a brother of my mother that passed away after 3 months from typhus. Over there I found the pictures. So that was my joy because it's the only proof of that time. And later on, I married at 17. That was me at 17 with my husband.
Already in Israel?
In Israel. I arrived in Israel when I was 11 and a half years old.
And it was not very easy either with the British control here.
We came illegally. And the British kept us. We were already near Haifa. And they took us to the camps in Cyprus.
From one camp to another.
Yes. So many people lost hope. They say, that will be all our lives? Is it worth to be alive at all? You know, it was like the end of everything. It wasn't worth fighting anything because we couldn't see hope nowhere. We were in a summer camp near the ocean.
In Cyprus?
In Cyprus. And, you know, the water from the sea flushed down every night. It was only table and שכחתי איך אומרים oil.
With a tent.
In a tent. So each of us went in a tent by the turn to get dry.
So many stories there, and Jeudith Moskovitz, very important. I think that these stories you keep on telling them for the next generation,